So you've been toying with the idea of starting an event venue and you just don't know where to start. Well, today I'm going to give you 8 steps which I hope will guide you through the process. Hi, I'm Bonnie Hawthorne. I'm a venue coach and consultant who helps new venue owners create profitable and sustainable venues. So let's jump right into it. So there are a few questions that I think you should ask yourself on the onset. I'm going to look down at my notes also so that I can stay on track and we can make the best use of our time together today. So the questions that I think you should ask yourself: are you ready for a financial risk? You know, there's a lot of money that goes into starting an event venue. Are you willing to risk your finances? Also, if the venue does not work out, what is your B plan? Can you pivot? Can you use the space for something else? Can you sublet it? So those are some of the things that you want to consider also. Also, are you prepared to give up your weekends? You know, venue ownership is long hours, you work weekends because a lot of events are held during the weekends. Also, are you going to give up your full-time job? Or are you going to have a partner who's going to help you manage it? Or are you going to have staff that are going to run the day-to-day operations? Those are just a few of things that you want to consider. All right, then the second thing is research. Have you researched your market? Do you know your demographics? Do you know about your competitors? Are your competitors, what are their offerings? What will set you apart? And one of the ways that you can find out what your competitor is offering or anything of that nature is, one, talk to people who have utilized their venue space. Also, go to things like TripAdvisor, the Better Business Bureau, Google, and look at their reviews and see where their strengths and their weaknesses lie. And that way you can build upon your business that way. Whatever they're offering, you know, if they're, say for instance, if they have a set menu, and you know that people are always raving about their menu, then you want to be competitive in that area as well. If people are talking about how lovely their grounds are and they're in the same area that you're in, you want to consider what can you provide, you know, that's a step up. And we call that your selling points, right? So you want to have significant selling points that you can push to the clients that make you stand apart from your competitors. So the next thing, when I say research, also, you need to make sure that you understand your demographics. What is the education in the area, the age, the medium income? This all plays a part because this helps you to know who your clientele is. Who are you wanting to reach? Who do you want to come and provide service to in your venue? Okay, the next thing is business plan. And I know I get a lot of questions about business plans. So business plans can be short, business plans can be long. It just depends on what you are going to do with your business plan. Are you going to get financing? If you're going to get financing, of course, it has to be more detailed. If you're just going, you need a business plan anyway as a roadmap. What are you going to do? How are you going to get there? And what it takes to get there. Okay, so if it's just a 3 to 4 page document for yourself to help you go along the course, then that's what you need to do. I wouldn't tell any business to start without a business plan because that is your roadmap to success. And as you might have heard me say on several occasions, a business plan is forever changing. You know, we have to pivot sometimes. We might want to offer a service, then we find out the service is not doing well, so we have to find other services or offerings. Also, advertising. You may think that, you know, my Google business page is going to bring in a lot of advertising, which it does, but because people can find you there. But, you know, running Facebook ads, or you might think, okay, I need literature, and that's not working. So, you know, you'll go back in and you'll revamp how you're going to advertise and market to your clients. So that's why I'm saying a business plan is forever changing. Okay, the next thing I would say, finances. Do you have enough money to start this venture? You know, and if you don't, have you thought about how you're going to get there? Do you have enough money of your own? Are you going to go to banks? Are you going to get lines of credits? Or are you going to have investors? And once again, when you go to banks and you have investors, You must have a full, detailed business plan. No one is just going to give you their money because you said, oh, I'm going to open up a venue and it's going to be successful. They want to know what processes you're going to go through and to be successful so they can get the return on their investment. So make sure, like I said, if you're going to get investors or go to banks or small business association, but the small business association does have programs where you don't have to do a business loan, but research that, call them up, see what loans they have to offer to small businesses. Okay, so that's the money. You have to have money to start any business. And some people say you need to have 3 months, 6 months. To be cautious, I say anywhere from 6 months to a year, in your account, money in your funds in your account to sustain you through your business. We just never know what's going to happen. Like the market may, like for instance, COVID came around. A lot of businesses didn't have money, so they got PPP loans, small business loans, and things like that. But make sure that, if you take these loans, you're going to have to pay them back and that you budget for that, okay? So the next big thing, which I always get questions about, is location. I cannot find a location, okay? So first of all, you need to figure out if you're going to lease or if you're going to build. Okay, because leasing is different from building. Of course, we still have to go through zoning. No matter what you decide to do, you're going to have to go through zoning. But once again, it goes back to researching your market, right? So if you're going to build out, somewhere in the suburbs and things like that, you need to make sure that it's easily accessible. Even with renting, you need to make sure it's easily accessible. I mean, is it off the interstate? Can people get there by public transportation? Once they get there, is there going to be enough parking? The capacity, right? And so the capacity is determined from zoning and the fire marshal. So, as before, you've probably seen on my other videos or my podcast, I'm always harping on zoning because that's the biggest, thing that a lot of clients contact me about. They've leased the building, they've gotten into it, they've started events, then all of a sudden the city comes and closes them down because they're not properly zoned or they didn't go through the right processes and procedures. So first of all, when you find your location and you see this building and you just like, I've got to have this building, please do not invest in it until you've gone to zoning to make sure that everything is proper. I mean, as far as, is it handicap accessible? Does it need sprinkler systems? The exit, the capacity, is it right for exits and things of that nature? There's just so much that zoning can help you with and keep you out of, being fined or just having to close down when you've invested so much money. So I can't express to you enough, zoning. I know people are going to get tired of me saying that eventually, but I tell you, I talk to so many people every week and they are feared that they're going to get closed down because they haven't gone to zoning, it's not properly zoned, or, say for instance, they have to build out the bathrooms, which they didn't figure into that because it's not handicap accessible. There's just a plethora of things that could go to the left if you don't follow the proper procedures. Okay, so also you have to make sure that if you're going to be there long term, and even if you're going to lease a building, the possibility might come up that you can buy the building. Is there the possibility for growth and expansion? You might want to have a outdoor patio at some point, which, that you want to extend on. So those are things to consider. Know your expenses. A lot of people start a business and they don't really think about all the expenses involved. I mean, there's sales tax, there's utilities, maintenance costs, advertising, payroll, insurance, just to name a few. Just be sure you know what your expenses are. And sometimes, For instance, utilities. A lot of people don't know that you can call the utility company and see what the past tenant or was paying for utilities. You know, they can assess that for you and give you the information. It's same as sales tax, you know, or, you know, personal property taxes or any taxes that you have to pay, you know. And if you don't understand this, you can certainly seek training. You know, that's what our company does. We will help you through this process. If you don't understand taxes, utilities, zoning, you can always book a strategy call with us and we can help you through this process. Once you've got everything approved, you've got zoning, you've got, you know, your equipment and everything that you need to get the word out. How are you going to advertise? And that's really big. So you can have open houses, you can have the local chamber of commerce to come in, host an event there. You, of course, directories. There's a plethora of directories that you can be on, Peerspace, Eventective, you know. So directories like that, you definitely want to list your venue on to get the information out, to let people know you are, where you are. And Google My Business. That is one, I harp on this a lot. You know, first thing when a client calls and sets up a strategy call, the first place I'll go is Google My Business. I look at Facebook, and you know, people don't have a Google My Business page. They don't have a Facebook page. And believe it or not, some people don't even have a website. They've kind of put the cart before the horse. They've got the building, you know, and they've not even gotten the website, you know. So I often tell people to build the excitement on Instagram. You know, start an Instagram page as soon as you get the permits from zoning and everything you need, and you have your business license and things like that, then that is very important. Just catalog or blog, you know, your process, you know, let people build excitement, let people know that what's coming and, you know, that you're opening up soon. So those are some of the tips that I want to share with you today. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to book a strategy call. We're always happy to work with you. Also, go over to our website and listen to our podcast. There is a plethora of information there. So if you found this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to stay in the know, subscribe. Thanks again. I'm Bonnie R. Hawthorne of BR Hawthorne Teaches, and I look forward to our next video.